And we're live!
So great to see you.
Were you shocked then? You were like, where's Izzi? I can't see her.
No,
I was hiding.
Prost, Izzi. Glad you're here.
Cheers. You too.
So, actually, my mouse just died, and I was like, "What the hell? I wanna open it up. What's going on? Oh my god, it died. Okay." And as you know, you have to put it on the other side, which is still like one of the
worst
design ever, right?
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit struggling, but it's all right.
You're here. Yeah, I was a bit worried.
It's all good.
Marcus wasn't there, and I was
scared. You were already texting me. Yeah, but I was like moving my screen, and then because I have multiple screens, and I was like, "Where's the cursor? Maybe it's on another screen, and what's going on?" And it's like
the stress.
Whatever. I'm here. You're
We're here.
You got news. It's Friday afternoon. What's not to like, right?
We got beer. The sun is shining.
Absolutely. Well, I don't see the sun shining, but I heard it's nice out there. What kind of beer do you have
gorgeous today? I have a Giesinger Hell today.
A Giesinger Hell, a Munich local favorite. I think we said this before, right? Because actually Giesinger is now brewing within Munich city limits, and now would be even available to also serve their beer at Oktoberfest, if there's ever going to be an Oktoberfest again.
Drucken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a beer tent from Giesinger. Yeah? That would be quite nice.
It would be super trendy because Giesinger is quite a hipster one, right? Like it's more of like a crafty beer. So I can imagine like a more rustic style. I mean, Oktoberfest is incredibly rustic, but a bit more like Bavarian chic, trendy. Yeah.
Sounds like
that's what I'm imagining.
Wiesenschenke.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A bit. So what are you drinking?
Not the high nose kind of thing. I mean, obviously the Tegernseer, the good old favorite.
Amazing.
All good.
Nice.
How was your week?
My week has been good. I had a really nice webinar yesterday about mobile usability. Really important topic. So this went well. I had a lot of fun preparing it. It was kind of like an update of one that I gave in 2020. Yeah, just 2020. No, 2021. So I had a lot of new things to add in there.
Awesome.
New changes on the mobile only indexing. So yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely a topic a lot of people are worrying about right now, and obviously good information there. By the way, talking about webinar, we actually got an exciting webinar coming up next week. You obviously know this, but probably most of you don't. Shame on you, because actually I'm doing a webinar together with Kevin Indek, which is fantastic. Another webinar with Kevin Indek. They're always lots of fun. This time we're talking about e-commerce. And yeah, he's in the spotlight. I have hundreds of different questions for him. So we're gonna from beginner to expert. There's like something for everybody. And I think this is going to be a really fun conversation. It's on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central European summertime. So yeah.
4 p.m.
Awesome. 4 p.m. Okay. I thought it was 5.
I'm just looking at the page now.
All right.
And it says 4.
I'm also going to be there at 4 p.m. So yeah, it's
that's good.
It's all good. If you don't have time, that's absolutely no problem at all. You can just sign up, and we're going to send you the recording. You can watch it at whatever time you would like. And by the way, talking about something you can watch next week, there's also SEO for Ukraine going on, which is pretty cool. This is on Tuesday, I think from 4 to 6 with Aleda, Luke McCarthy, lots of great people there. So this is also something worth checking out. I actually don't have time. I still bought my ticket. I mean, obviously I wanted to support it, so I bought a 50 pound ticket. I can't make it. Maybe Alex can make it. Or someone else come through, because this is really something we would like to support, obviously. So, and
lots of good stuff coming up.
Stuff coming up next week. Absolutely. So what kind of news do we have this week? I think there's lots of stuff about. There's a new update.
Have so much.
Shit's going down.
There was a Google Core update. No, just kidding. I am expecting it soon, though. I know. 2 minutes ago. Where is my?
We're talking about a spring update. I mean, we see lots of fluctuation. I actually checked it out. I actually checked it out with our German site, and I couldn't see any update. There was nothing like out of the ordinary going on, just with us at least, like lots of navigational queries like rising to the top, giving us lots of more visibility, and it really looks like something really big happened, but it really didn't have any impact on the bottom line, as very often here. So yeah, from my experience, there's no real update going on right now. And by the way, there was also this snarky answer from did you see this from Denny Sullivan, because somebody was saying, hey, is an update going on? And he's like, yeah, let me check on this, and if you don't hear from me very soon, it's probably one of these times when we look at each other and think, what are these guys talking about? I think this is like the gist of his tweet, and this is what I like, right? Because everybody's talking about a potential update, and there's no update going on. What are you guys talking about, right? But there is one update going on. Obviously, it's not core, but this is definitely something big. While Leah is joining us, hey Leah,
hey Leah.
Hello to Minnesota, and TGIF, absolutely, TGIF. That's for sure. Thank God it's Friday again.
So I updated my Chrome this morning, and now I cannot share my screen. So I have to update my privacy settings. Isn't that amazing? This is so typical.
I had the same thing. We were doing our daily dose of SEO, and I couldn't share my screen. I'm like, what the hell? And then it's like, oh, you got to close it down, remove security settings, thing again, run it again, and then it finally works.
So I'll be right back in 1 second.
Oh, you have to do this now? Oh, that's fun. And I don't have a mouse, so yeah. Now it's only us. I'm happy you're watching just me. Maybe I can sing something for you while Izzi is preparing her slides here. I guess nobody wants to hear this. Yeah, maybe somebody in the comments give me something I can work with. I can't even move my mouse. I was like trying to move my mouse, and I can't even move my mouse. So I guess we're going to be back in a second. There she is. I'm
again. Back. And now it's gotten rid of all the tabs I had open, which is just so typical.
Oh, no.
I know. It's okay. I'm going to restore the entire session. It's going to work perfectly. It did work perfectly. I love technology. Oh, Trond is watching. Hey, Trond.
Hey, Trond. I was actually just checking out your article, because Trond actually wrote an article on enterprise SEO on Search Engine Land. Cool. So I just saw it, liked it, but I didn't have the chance to read it. I mean, like, obviously, if I would have read it, we would put it into the show. But so we're just giving a shout out without knowing what we're talking about. I think always when Trond blogs about something, it's good stuff, right? So
it's always going to be great. Yeah,
you can do a blind recommendation here to jump over to Search Engine Land and check out Trond's new article on enterprise SEO. Great, you're watching. It's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, great. While we're talking about great SEOs from the Nordics, there's also congratulations in place to our favorite Suganthan. Suganthan just had a baby girl. So congratulations.
No, he will be getting a baby girl.
Oh, he will be getting a baby girl. I thought it's a girl. I thought this it's now I get it. Okay.
It's okay. But still congrats. Yeah.
Okay. It's still awesome. So what I just saw as well. Just checking out Twitter once a week, and this is what obviously
some nice news.
Suganthan and this little family, pretty cool.
Yeah. So now I can share my screen.
Oh, awesome! Great.
It's there. It's right there. Yeah.
I dropped the ball here. And I still always want to move my mouse. It's like
stupid Apple. Yeah, I have a Logitech one, and it's nice. Yeah. Well, speaking of updates, the product reviews update is rolling out more and to non-English speaking countries as well, which is very, very cool.
Oh, is it, by the way? Is it also rolling out to non-English speaking countries?
Yeah. So our work to improve product reviews will continue, including expanding these updates to more languages beyond English. So it's not rolling out today, sorry. It will continue. Yeah.
Definitely. But they definitely gave some hints. I actually like that last section you just pulled up there, because they said, in the first update, we were focusing on design, among other things, help ensure reviews come from people who demonstrate expert knowledge and first-hand research about product. Today's update, also the update like started 2 days ago, builds on the work to make sure that product reviews and search meet certain criteria, such as include helpful in-depth details, like the benefits of drawbacks, I think, which is also pretty important to not just talk about, oh, what a great product it is, but also what's not great about it, in which situations it doesn't make sense, right? And like have like a little bit more nuanced product review, and obviously not just like praising something and hope for somebody clicking through on my affiliate code. That doesn't work anymore. Yeah, but also, as it says here, come from people who have actually used the product and show that the product is physically like how it's used, include unique information beyond the manufacturer provides and all that kind of stuff. So now they're really going in depth about like the quality of these reviews itself. So yeah, this is pretty exciting stuff. And as we just said, this is only US centric right now. And we heard actually from Lily Ray at SMX Munich, which was really awesome, what big tremors there were like felt in the US SERPs when those product review updates hit. So obviously here in Germany, we're like very like very sensibilized, basically, okay, when is this going to roll out also to German-speaking countries? Will this likely have the same big effect like it had in the US? So obviously we're following this very closely, what's going on there, and seeing like the best practices, like what a New York Times Wirecutter is doing, for example, right? Which, you might also want to apply already right now before those updates even hit. So you're really like, set up for success despite any update going on. So as for us, this is great.
This is huge. It's immense, really, if you think about it. Just the shakeup for you as a consumer. But if you have been relying on, a steady stream of income through kind of shady-ish affiliate website creation, then you can kiss goodbye to that, basically.
Did you talk about me? I mean, like I just searched shady affiliate. I mean, like this is just just like a label I had for so many years. So I still react to this. It's like,
the wound is still there. It's not healed yet.
Oh, it's not a wound. This is
it's a scar.
It was awesome time. Really great.
Yeah, really. Okay, I never got into this. Like I hear this like been with SEOs, it's sort of been a trend because we know how to rank websites and search of like just have a side project of like affiliate websites and just make some nice money this way. But I never did this myself. No.
Yeah, but you also had great websites to work with, like the brand, like something like Six. Like obviously, that's also very fun.
Sure, yeah.
Like dangling with this, how do I build some links? How do I get a little bit of authority going here with my shitty affiliate site? There, it's like, well, we got these national TV advertisements. You can do whatever you want. You can rank for anything you want. So there's like for everyone.
I know.
There's something for everyone. By the way, Marcus is here. Hey, Marcus.
Hey,
Marcus. Who would make that? Building shady affiliate websites. I don't know anyone. Not me. I have no idea. Just heard about random people doing this kind of stuff. I mean, like for me, it's a long time ago. Like seriously, it's a long time ago. When it read blog about this, calling me a black hat with Matt Cutts chiming in. This was 2008, I guess. So I think for the past 14 years, I've been white hat, and never looked back. Yeah, happy.
White hat and proud.
Yeah.
Another great article we loved from the Keyword was an interview with the beloved Danny Sullivan. So he became Google's public liaison for search, but he was editor at Search Engine Land, right, for a long, long while. And he's been in the SEO industry for ever.
Yeah,
he is one of the founding fathers.
He founded, Search Engine Land.
Exactly.
And all that. I still remember when he was doing Search Engine Strategies, which was like the big conference series at the time, and actually him going out, which was basically the beginning of the end for search engine strategies, and then building up the whole third media brand with Search Engine Land, Marketing Land, and obviously also the very successful SMX series, right? Also, this was this is a big shift. And I remember 2005 when he was when he just left SES, and he was actually the keynote speaker at PopCon, which is back then you had SES and PopCon being like the big two shows, right? And though he went away from SES, and then he appeared again as the keynote speaker for PopCon, and this was like the beginning of that fantastic story, and obviously him ending up at Google being the search liaison, and I think they found the perfect guy for that, because he's been a journalist in that sphere before anybody was even talking about this. And by the way, there's also this great book, I'm Feeling Lucky. It's a book about Google in the early days, sensational book. There's so many great stories in there. And yeah, Dennis Sullivan has been mentioned in there also quite a couple of times, as he is a vital part of Google's story, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a fascinating interview with him. It's not super long. It's really easy to read in 4 minutes. Just also like hearing about how he started his love affair with search. You know, he's analyzing while he's at college these really archaic search systems, which at the time were obviously like very advanced, of locating books in the college library, which was way faster than using these card catalogs. So it's a really interesting piece, and I think it just reminds us of how perfect Danny is for this role as search liaison at Google.
It's so many interesting insights in there. I think they said he's talking about like they reduced the number of irrelevant results by 50%. And there's also this, that they make over 800,000 experiments, right? Like really like trying to get more and more quality in the SERPs. And obviously this sounds like a huge number, but obviously this is also not just SEO stuff. I mean, like they famously tested 40 different shades of blue to find out the perfect color for their links, right, within the SERPs. And I mean, like with millions of users, with millions of searches done every day, just a higher conversion rate of 0.00001 is already millions of dollars in their pocket each and every day. So obviously that makes a lot of sense, like testing everything out for just the slightest of improvement, because this definitely has an effect on the whole bottom line. By the way, Stefan is also here. Hey Stefan, thanks for watching. Also very famous German SEO. He's awesome guy. Glad you're watching. And there's so many interesting tidbits in this very interesting tale that Danny is telling on the Google blog there.
Yeah, and I think also he's referring back as well to the product update. Is there any SEO?
But by the way, it's a tool for writing movie review. I think, why do you need a tool to write you a movie review? First, you got to watch the movie, and then you write a review about, did you like the movie? What was good? What was not good? You don't need an SEO tool for that, right? I mean, like, this is it. Watch the movie, review the movie. You know, don't need a tool. And if you do an honest review and like really try to do your best, it's probably going to work, right?
I think last week as well, someone tweeted from Google that Google can still tell when automated content was sort of automated, basically. Like, was I making this up? Was it last week or was it?
I actually don't know. It would be interesting if they really said it. I was actually, I remember, by the way, while Stefan is saying I'm here because I just haven't made it to the other shows in terms of time lately. No problem. I mean, you don't have to make excuses. It's all good. We're just happy you're here right now. So it's all good. Oh, by the way, Hobby does not agree. What about structured data for movie review? Yeah, obviously. I mean, like, this is the whole 9 yards, but you don't really need an SEO tool for that. So I'm like, really, what do you need the tool for, to tell you what you need to put in there? I mean, like, this is really just a quick couple of things you can research and then just get it going. Also, there's really no need for a tool besides Google Search Console, probably, right?
Yeah,
it's probably the best tool if you're really asking for a tool here. I don't remember what I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, you were saying it's the automated content. I was actually at SMX Munich, Kai Spriestersbach was actually talking about different tools, where there are different AI tools you can already use, for automated writing of blog posts, copy, or whatever, right? And this is really, really interesting, and I'm really like playing around with this. And so I think it's increasingly hard for Google to really like differentiate, is this like written by a human or by an AI? And like really, how can you really differentiate this? Because even if it's like poorly written, this could also be someone who's just not good at writing, right? But that doesn't make him a bot, right? So I think Google isn't even against using like automatic generated content if it's good. And then we see this increasingly, for example, in coverage of like local sports events, like local soccer matches at the lower level. I mean, like obviously not Bayern Munich battling it out, getting Chelsea or stuff like this, but on the lower level in like the 8th league or something like this, right? Where, well, you don't really need a journalist anymore, but yeah, just like the basic facts, and it will automatically basically fill in the gaps. So I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's just about when it's like really automated and really going into something that it's, also you try to tackle something with something automated, which just doesn't really make any sense and doesn't really help the user in its on its journey.
I mean, if you're using automation to kind of fluff it up a bit, if you're using it to fill in a few gaps of turning facts into a sort of cohesive statement or, you know, a product description, I think it can definitely work. You don't need a Pulitzer award-winning copy to, you know, talk about this toaster. So it really does.
I would read it though. I would read like a toaster review from a Pulitzer Prize winner. I totally.
It would be mind blowing. We should test this.
We should test this. Okay, like, who do you want to? Hey, you know, how about you?
I'll write my friends. My award-winning writer friends.
How many? Like, this is even plural. I mean, like, this is like how many? I don't know.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. By the way, how do you say GPT-3 can generate product review but not generate movie reviews? I don't know if this is the case, that you can't generate movie reviews, and why it would like be able to review other products. I mean, like, don't you want to watch the movie and write it? I mean, like,
I love movies.
This is your review, right? I mean, like, a review from a movie. This is really, I watched this movie. I like the movie. You should really watch it. Or no, you shouldn't watch it because it's like dumb. So why would I make let an AI write that article and basically like have that opinion about a movie? I don't even know if I have the same opinion about that movie. So if I'm writing a movie review, I definitely want to watch the movie and will let you know what I think about the movie, because I think that's what the review is about. I would be interested in a review, like in a movie review from an AI that wasn't even able to watch the movie, you know, just like getting some random facts, how long it is and who's like award-winning actors and stuff like this. I don't care. I want a review. Should I watch it or not? Right. So
exactly, like
I get it.
AI can tell you what happened in a movie. It cannot give you a good opinion of whether it, you know, resonated with this storyline and so on. And GPT-3 cannot generate product reviews. It can generate a product description. A review is completely different to a description. And I mean, we just spoke about the product reviews update where, you know, these are all facts or aspects that an AI cannot do. A human reviewer can and has to do this in order to rank well. So that's a big difference.
I want to read. That's it. As you said, it's a description of something, maybe a movie description, but it doesn't really help. Because I know the AI hasn't watched the movie. So hobbies continuing. GPT-3 generate rich keyword text for SEO purpose, but some of the fact not match reality. Is they any fact checker SEO tool that it can use to boost SEO based on facts? And I mean, if a tool like this would be around, Google could also do this, right? I mean, like, and what are you trying to achieve? I mean, like, you want to have an automatic movie review, which doesn't make any sense, right? And you want to have more technologies, throw more technology at it to make it better. I mean, like, but you can make it better by actually watching the movie and letting me know what you think, right? I don't know. It sounds a little bit like a gigantic waste of time. And this would also be an
That's
expensive
all.
review
Yeah.
to buy. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe code an AI that's actually watching the movie and that has watched other movies and then whatever. Maybe Hobby got a new client to write those reviews, but he's simply not a movie watching lover.
Maybe.
Yeah, then you chose the wrong profession.
Yes.
I think Stefan also has something to say about it. It's always exciting how hard it is for so many to make great content for users. In other words, the motivation to create great solutions for users, the demand to be highly ranked on Google as a solution rather than the necessary evil of having to write some content. How much will GPT-3 be able to fulfill this claim? On the other hand, there are many answers and solutions that don't really need depth. There, I see GPT-3 as a great support. I think Stefan is making a great point here. Absolutely. Yeah. I think movie reviews, this is really something which shouldn't be shouldn't be written by an AI, but there's so many different cases, as we just said, like overview of sports games in lower leagues or something like this, where this makes a lot of sense, right? But so I totally agree with Stefan here. And Hobby, maybe you want to connect with Stefan. I think he can definitely help you getting back on track. But I love the discussion. So thanks everyone for being so active here in the comments. I love it.
We love it. Yep. Should we move on to, related still to the product reviews update? There was on the New Yorker, which I am not a subscriber of. There was an interesting.
This without description.
I can read this. Yeah, it was part of my free articles of the month.
I always put these in my remarkable. So this is what I love about the remarkable. So you can actually take an article and you can put it in here, right? Wow. And then I can even do stuff in here, right? As I can highlight stuff and stuff like this, right? Like really, as I would be reading the New Yorker. I really
need to do a product review.
Yeah,
but remarkable.
That's for sure. In this case, also the article is okay-ish, but what the interesting thing is, maybe you guys remember, we were talking about a piece of content a little while back while Google is dying, right? And we were reading it, and we're all sorts of weird examples of him searching for something, and then he wouldn't, find something. Or he would find something where that content is even not on the page anymore and all that kind of stuff. And actually, Dennis Sullivan replied, and there was a lot of the stuff he was actually raising concerns about isn't really a thing, right? So when we were talking about it here on that show, we were also I don't really get his point, right? And we also didn't get why it received so much traction, because this seems to come from a random guy talking about why he thinks Google is dying, and it got a lot of traction, which was kind of fascinating for the arguments he basically brought up. And this piece is actually referencing this article, right? So it's oh my God, right? It didn't just receive traction. It even incited somebody at the New Yorker to write another piece about it, right? And basically reiterating all these things. And again, reading through it, I'm not sold. Do you really what? Because he's also raising this point that a lot more people are searching for something, and then plus reddit.com and stuff like this, and they get better information there. I don't know. And obviously might also be different in the US. Here in Germany, it's just a little bit not a thingish, especially compared to the US. But especially talking about product reviews, that he doesn't find like real reviews anymore. And this is exactly what Google is tackling with the product review updates. They've done such a great job, and still iterating on it, just introducing the third round, basically, and saying we're continue to going to do this and push it out to the whole world. So I read it and I don't get it. This is
it was I'm a journalist and I'm trying to find a really expensive toaster that is a very trendy Japanese branded one, and I can't find an article that I really resonate with on page one. So I'm now going to go and write an article about it on the New Yorker and title it the very clickbaity "What Google search isn't showing you." So it sounds very mysterious, Google is hiding things from us.
Yeah, and what is actually Google hiding? So his point is, he's saying with another search engine, he's finding these articles from, like way back from the internet times, and like this one meme where they're like, what if Apple built a toaster? It has the same features as Microsoft only 5 years before, 5 years earlier, or something like this. And this is what you find with the different search engine. This is what Google is not showing you. I mean, I'm looking for a toaster, right? I'm looking for a toaster to buy. I'm not looking for some outdated information from the depth of the internet, right? So again, I don't get the point. Eric does a little bit. By the way, again, Eric Wu, ladies and gentlemen, one of my top three in the world technical SEO specialists. He's phenomenal. He's really phenomenal. When I talk to him, when I talk with him, it feels like I don't know shit about SEO. I don't know shit about technical SEO. So I don't like to talk to him. That's no, I'm just joking. But he's awesome, and he's saying Reddit is where I get all my stonks advice. Stonks, what's stonks?
Oh, Marcus, bitter. You don't know stonks.
Wasn't he trying to write stock, like stock advice?
It is a kind of a meme form of stocks. Yes. So
stonks.
There is a famous subreddit called Wall Street Bets on Reddit, which is also where people discuss like what is good to invest. I'm not a follower of this subreddit because I'm not good at stonks, but this is also the subreddit. No, I can't do anything financial. I'm terrible with money, so yeah. And this is also the subreddit that was part of the GameStop fiasco last year. So maybe that's what Eric is talking about. But I use Reddit for all my memes, so I get meme inspiration there, and I also just look at cat pictures, which is what is great. Eric Wu says this needs to be a section. Okay, it does. Yes.
I'm not the Reddit guy, but yeah, I'm happy you got your memes and cat pictures there. So
I have my.
It'd be great. Look around there. This needs to be a segment of the show. Izzi explains memes to Marcus. Oh, she does all the time. This is not just here in the show. This is like all the time. There's like really stuff that I don't get. It's like, I don't get it. And also with the emojis and with what does it really mean? What's like the meaning behind it and stuff like. I suck at that.
I would love this show.
I love that Izzi is on top of this and can explain me that. By the way, Stefan says in Germany we'd say Stonk. Yeah, Stonk. Wasn't this the guy that wrote the Hitler Diaries? I think that's a movie with Uwe Ochsenknecht.
Mr. Stonks.
Yeah, this is I think Stonk, like 25 something years ago, or something like this. By the way, Rudy is also watching. Hello, late, but still, that's okay. We take everyone, even if you're late. No, you can't watch anymore. If you're too late, you can't. Just joking. Yes. Oh, he knows Stonk. Look at this. He knows Stonk. He looks, knows Uwe Ochsenknecht as Stonk. And Marcus says, talking about things Google search isn't showing you. I was trying to find this story from a long time ago where the webmaster of this Flash website meets Googlebot in a bar and discusses with it. Can't find it anymore since years. I guess Google is hiding this from me. It sounds exciting. I mean,
sounds like a dream that you had.
I mean,
maybe
like Google Flash. I mean, like, oh, I love it. I was always like absolutely Google Flash.
What is Flash?
Yeah, Google Flash. Macromedia.
Just kidding. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I have a really bad sense of humor today.
Yeah, but Flash was awesome. I think Flash was awesome. Like,
I love Flash games.
The JavaScript and like really like ActionScript was such an effective script language. You can do so many fantastic things, but obviously, like, yeah, it wasn't really made for the web. But nevertheless, it looked awesome. Flash websites. Actually, a guy I used to work back in 2001, I think. They were number 3 at the World Flash Awards, and I actually worked with these guys and a couple of projects on Flash projects, as they were phenomenal. That's such a long time ago. Crazy.
So I tell you about memes, and you tell me about the history of the internet and everything. I'm not saying you're old.
Yeah, something a little bit like, hey, Miss Uzelem, tell me about the early days of the internet, right? I mean,
what was black and white TV like?
Oh, I started with BTX. Here in Germany, we had BTX.
What's
Bildschirmtext. Bildschirmtext.
Teletext. I remember this.
No, teletext is something different.
Okay.
Bildschirmtext. it's a little bit different. And yeah, it was awesome. That's how it started out. It's like absolutely fascinating.
Amazing. But one thing to mention on this article from my side, I really am happy that Danny Sullivan chimed in. Like he had such a great point. Like just because this person prefers to Google for a keyword plus Reddit because they trust Reddit's forum styles and like really personal reviews doesn't mean that everyone else wants to. Like everyone has different ways of searching. Some people prefer to go directly to a website to make their search. If they're looking for like a toaster, they might go to Amazon, they might go to the New Yorker's tech blog or something, or product review blog. Everyone is different. Just because you do it this way doesn't mean the search is dying.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's also, oh, now they have quick answers. I mean, like a lot of people type something in and they think, oh, this is like a question I have now, and I don't have to type it in anymore because it's right there. I can just click on it. That's awesome, right? And it is there because people use it, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, like, what are you saying? Only because you don't like it? I don't know. Whatever. By the way, Rüdiger, apparently we are almost at the same age. In Marcus and my time, memes were drawn on the wall of cave. Move over, Neanderthal. I mean, like, you apparently are older than me.
The shade.
The shade.
Shade is a good one. It's like, oh, it's so shady. That's so mean, but in a fun way.
By the way, Rüdiger just started a new job. He just started a new job this week. So yeah, congratulations and good luck on the new exciting
Congrats,
challenge, Rüdiger.
Should we move on?
Yes, please. Moving on.
There's so much to get through. Olaf Kopp with his debut on Search Engine Land, I believe.
Yeah, this is why I just a quick shout out to Olaf. This definitely made the rounds here in Germany. It's also great that actually Search Engine Land picked up on it. I think it was Bill and then over Lily or something like this. They reached out to Barry. So just a quick shout out. I mean, always great for fellow Germans, to smell some international air. No, it's always great to see somebody from Germany, like really being in the spotlight internationally. So yeah, head tip to Olaf. I think we don't have to go into this.
No, it's a lot of quality information.
Like quick shout out.
Yes,
definitely. Oh, by the way, Steve tried to find a toaster on Google, but Google hid everything from me. I know this because I discovered what they were hiding from.
That's the article. That's the article in one sentence.
I tried to find a toaster on Google, but Google hid everything from me. I know this because I discovered what they were hiding. What?
That's the article summary that we just looked at.
It's so meta. I'm confused now. What about keywords and algorithm? Is Susie asking. What about keywords?
That's a good question.
What about algorithms, Susie? Rüdiger said, and I lived in Wuppertal, with about 30 kilometers from the Neanderthal. No, you mean the Netherlands. That's not Neanderthal.
I'm so confused.
Sorry. Now I'm like flaming everyone. I'm like, we won't have anybody watching this show anymore. Axel is saying, hey, Axel, great you're watching. The equivalent of the German BTX was Prestel in the UK. Never known this? Prestel?
Prestel. As a fun fact, my dad has landed in Germany today. He's stuck at the airport because of S-Bahn delays. But I'm going to ask him tonight about Prestel when we see each other. So
where you guys going? Where you guys going? Proper beer garden?
Oh, tonight we're staying local. I have a pub nearby that I love. They have good craft beer and good Augustiner and Tegernseer. And then tomorrow we're going to Starnberg. A lake. Starnberg is the so
I actually have Becky is out with her girlfriends. They went to a hotel, so she's off for the weekend. Yeah, they definitely deserved like a weekend off. So I'm only I'm alone with the kids. I mean, like right now, grandma's there, like
good,
like taking care. So don't worry. But so I also have a very exciting weekend ahead of me. That should be really cool.
Amazing. What are your plans with the kids?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, tomorrow we want to go swimming to Polach.
Oh, nice.
Which is really cool. The kids are really looking forward to this. Actually, what we also like to do, I don't know, fun tidbit. When mom's not there, we like to make movies. So we did like all sorts of different movies, like about like also like with the drones or something like this. Or last time we were filming something with Lego, we were like doing stop motion technique, right? Like
Love
filming
it.
something with Lego, and we always will make that movie and we'll send it to mom. Basically, so she's like, look what we are doing, and she's like, what the hell, what are you guys doing, right? So
Oh, I bet she loves it.
yeah, and it was so awesome. We were making this cool like action stunt movie with a Lego, and like Belly was drawing like the backgrounds and stuff like this. So we had like a movie set going on. So this is
amazing.
something going to happen. And also one thing which is always happening when it's just dad around, we always go to McDonald's. I don't know, like this is like something
the treat, yeah.
Kids love, right? And they want to go to
McDonald's.
So mom's not there, so dad takes them to McDonald's. Perfect. So
love it. Sounds great.
By the way, this is awesome. I was laughing so hard. Eric says the code has the right to be forgotten.
That's
right.
please.
That's right.
Yes, please.
Very right. Okay, you're really cool. Beer
Thank you.
Cool.
Beer is cool.
I have a drone license. That's cool, Susie. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. All right.
Yeah.
What is SEO team structure model for world-class traveler blog and movie review portal? By the way, you need an SEO team now for movie reviews written from an AI. You probably don't need a team because it's not going to be around for very long. Just saying, sorry. SEO strategist, project manager, copywriter, developer, or is it enough? I mean, I have so many questions.
I love relying on Kevin Indig's blog for team structure advice. Kevin Indig is head of SEO at Shopify, and he's got a lot of experience in building up great departments and teams. So just check out Kevin Indig's blog. Can definitely recommend. He has lots of great articles on this.
And he's going to be there next Wednesday, 4 p.m. Webinar with me. You can also, ask this question directly there. More than welcome to do so. There's so many questions here. I think it's very hard to discuss this. Like, okay, you need this. It depends on so many different variables.
Yeah.
Obviously, also budget, right? I mean, like, what kind of budget do you have? Because these people don't come cheap. And again, if you rely on, still that team managing like AI written movie reviews, this is not really going to go somewhere, and you're not going to make a lot of money to actually pay these people. So I would always, start out low, watch the movie, write about it, have great reviews, people following you about it, and just building up from there. So much. The people who occupy the structural model are crucial. That's definitely true. It is crucial, but I would really like Hobby to reconsider having AI write those movie reviews.
I hope so. Yes. So the news on the screen is Google Domains is now out of beta since 2015.
After 7 years. It's now out of beta after 7 years. I mean, it's fantastic that something is actually coming out of beta at Google. This is something new, right? And here you actually get a 20% discount if you jump on any of those domains. They have like a couple of very weird, like pretty cool top level domains. So
they do.
Up until April 15th, you can get like a 20% off discount. So yeah, this is why we wanted to give the quick shout out here.
Yeah, very nice. And schema, structured data. So there's been an update. Yeah.
There's been an update. I mean, like multiple things here, but I think what I found the most exciting, and I actually got this out of the fantastic Wingman Newsletter. This is like a German SEO newsletter. Very well crafted. Yeah. It's not just about like this is all the news we had over the week, but like really in-depth articles like talking about this kind of stuff. It's a great article if you can speak German. And even in English, you can probably just subscribe to it and like auto-translate it because it's really great content all the time. And I actually got this out of this. I think Anita Böhm, who has actually, it was her birthday this week, phenomenal SEO from Hamburg. Anita, very experienced SEO. And I actually didn't see it. And and she had me stumble upon it. And what is great about this new schema types, what came up is this has adult consideration and is family friendly. I think this is a great addition. So you can either put it into products or offers if they are, sensitive to more adult audience or family friendly. So I think this is something really good. And also, I mean, like, as we all know, right, schema.org, this is not going to be forever. This is really just like hoping Google train the algorithms to be able to do this without schema in the future, right? And this obviously also helps them finding out, which products, which offers are actually family friendly. And obviously this also leads to more child-friendly SERPs in a lot of instances. So I applaud this change.
Yeah.
By the way,
Very
Susan,
nice.
I am an artist. I don't understand the SEO, but I would like to understand it. Haha. So I can give you a great tip. LearningSEO.io. I think, isn't it? Learning SEO from a later. Great research on how to learn SEO. So Susie, jump over there. Aleda has, I think, really the biggest collection of, if you want to get into SEO, whatever. She has a link, she has a resource. I think this is really one of the best resources to learn SEO and everything about it. LearningSEO.io from Alida Solis. You want to follow her anyway. I think she's phenomenal. One of the most well-known SEOs in the world right now. So yeah, should definitely check it out, Susie.
Yep, completely. So next up, we have a tweet from Valentin Plenzer, SEO in Munich.
Yeah.
One of the best.
And also our customer, I love it. He's like one of the biggest SEO pros we have in Germany, and obviously it's always great if super experts are using our tool and love to work with it. Obviously, this is a great thing. And he found something very interesting, and this was actually something that Google has tested on Google Maps before, and he actually found it in the wild in Google Search. So this is actually voucher coupons. You click on it, and we'll give you in the next image. It gives you this voucher code, and this is super interesting. And I was like, really, oh my god, I haven't seen this. It's only in the US. I couldn't reproduce it in Germany. I actually couldn't reproduce it overall. This is really something that he saw. I couldn't reproduce it, but obviously this is super interesting, and for Google to do something like this within the SERPs makes a lot of sense. A lot of juicy data for them, I mean, like, obviously for all the coupon and voucher sites, this is bad news.
A bit scary, yeah,
like this. But yeah, that's a very interesting, great find, Valentin.
Yeah, super nice. Next up was a study by Stat. So Stat has a lot of great information on SERPs, and they track like feature snippets and all sorts. Exactly.
And they obviously also buy things. I think Mars bought them a while back. And I think this is not I mean, I guess study is such a big word for what they did here.
True.
It's mildly interesting. Let's say it like this. Because what they actually did was, as you remember, before, when they introduced featured snippets, you would still have the site that has the featured snippet within the SERPs. It could be on position 1, 2, 3, or anywhere in the top 10. It would still show up as the featured snippet as well as within the SERPs. And then Google stopped that. And actually, if you're the featured snippet, you won't be shown another time in the SERPs. It's basically like deduplication within the SERPs, which makes a lot of sense. And the interesting thing they did here was they wanted to find out which result on what position actually got promoted to being the featured snippet by looking at before and after, which is very interesting. But obviously, it has a lot of what do you say, problems. There's a lot of problems with it, because obviously you're looking at a certain position, right? Why there is not really this number 2, number 3 position, right? There's always like an average of diverse positions. Maybe they should have done like an average as well, looking at, like the movement of certain sites. But nevertheless, it's a snapshot, and it's an interesting an interesting analysis here that we can actually see, okay, if you're within the top 3, you definitely have the best chance to actually being promoted to a featured snippet. So this is why I wanted to have a quick shout out to it. It's quite interesting, but obviously has a lot of drawbacks from the way this study has been conducted. But nevertheless, quite interesting to look at this, what happened in Google did this deduplication of featured snippet results.
Yep, thanks, Marcus. Also, in more topical news as well from Systrix, so the EU sanctions takes RT, so the RussianTimes.com, out of Google search results completely. So
Russia Today.
Russia Today, sorry. Yep.
Russia Today. No, it's good because apparently you're not watching Russia Today, because then you would be actually a good thing, right? If you would also know the host and all that stuff, then I would be worried. But that's
no.
Yeah, I love this. Systrix taking a look at this, and actually, I mean, as you can see, like it's really gone from the subs. I think this is like ultimate Google penalty. I mean, like obviously it's very drastic because the EU is basically saying, okay, you can't access that site anymore. Obviously, this is the most rigorous Google penalty I've ever seen. But yeah, nice to watch. And also, if you scroll a little bit down, you can see in the UK, which is not part of the EU anymore, yay Brexit. It's still there. Yeah, so this is the whole thing. And also there is some country doing like a DNS block kind of thing, which doesn't really make any sense with Google crawling from the US, right? It's still going to be within the index while other people can't access it, right? So it doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, great shout out here to Systrix to showing this great little post here.
Speaking of Systrix, Lily Ray is on her tour through Europe, Germany, and stopped off at Systrix and did a live DJ set yesterday, which was really
pretty
fun.
cool. I was watching like very shortly because I had my hands full with the kids.
Sure, yeah.
But I watched it a little bit, and it's really cool. As doing this out of the Systrix office. I think now she's in Berlin, so she's traveling around Germany.
Exactly. No stops in Munich, unfortunately. That was the original plan, but with things going on, it's a bit difficult. So yeah, hopefully
maybe in September. Not saying anything further. But, I was just like DMing with her today regarding G50 Summit. Yeah, she did her DJ set in my seminar studio at Systrix. Yeah, that was so cool. I tuned in, but I got like 5 minutes, and then the kids were over me, so I couldn't really follow it. But it's so cool. It's such a talented DJ. Besides the fact, very talented SEO, yeah, it's great fun.
Steve's studio is now blessed forever. Yeah. Oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. Oh, this was a sad story. This was really shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually I wanted to include it because it's a crazy story. So actually, this is about Looker. This is something that Google bought. So this
AI, right?
Yeah. Tool, right? And they were basically like having like contractors coming on from India, and they were like supposed to train them. They had this Department of Customer Love. I love this, right? I'm in the customer success team, right? And I love that, right? But the Department of Customer Love, I also love that name. And so they were doing an amazing job, like really keeping their customers happy. And now they were like, hey, can you train them? And they were like, oh my God, what's going on? And now they're replacing us. No. This is just like that you can focus on the real good cases, do a much better job because they will do the easy stuff. But no, they got replaced anyway. And this is like one of the, obviously like sad story, but I mean, like in that case, it makes a lot of sense because they're really struggling. I mean, like I think Google Cloud is like doing 20 million in revenue, but they did 20 billion in revenue or something like this, but 3 billion losses, right, in 2021. Right? I mean, it was just crazy that you have to pay 3 billion to make 20 billion in revenue, right? I mean, wow. But obviously, this is a rat race. This is something, who's going to be the number one, right? Like AWS, Azure, right? And right now I think we're still in 4th place. So this is something like where you want to grab the whole market and just like keep putting money into it to finally win. And I think they have 37,000 employees, but still with this kind of numbers, you really got to see, okay, how can we save some costs? And something was like getting contractors on board there. So I think it was just a very interesting story here on Morning Brew. This is why I wanted to do a quick shout out. And by the way, this comes to mind. There's another story. I think this was on the Guardian, like 2 years ago, about Project Pygmalion, where they had like 250 linguistic PhDs who were basically doing the featured snippets, and we're helping with translations of different content pieces and that kind of stuff, basically building the learning sets. And as it turns out, they were basically like working to get their jobs replaced by an algorithm, right? Which ended up happening. And I think the Guardian called it the white collar sweatshop, right? Because you've got all these PhDs, doing something to effectively replace them and their jobs. So this happens at Google, obviously, with thousands of employees. And it's just an interesting story. This is why.
Yeah, I'm kind of a believer in this, like, work to make yourself. I've completely forgot the word.
I mean, you believe in it, so I'm totally believing.
I just had it in my head, and it disappeared. It's not even the beer; it's only 4.8. Obsolete. You should work to make your own job obsolete, right? Because you're automating things, you're improving things, but this is like completely the wrong way, from an employer. So you're better off without them. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, but again, this is like always like easy to say, like this, don't be evil, that kind of stuff. I mean, like if you have 37,000 employees and making 3 billion in losses, I mean, like there's certain decisions you have to make.
Unfortunately,
I can totally understand it.
Okay. Search Pilot. We love Search Pilot. We love Tom Anthony and the team. Yeah, and we really like their case studies. They're very interesting. Always very important to not take these case studies as, I should go out and do the exact same if it was positive, or avoid it if it was negative, but just to instill the fact that A/B testing is very important for SEO.
Yeah, so, get some ideas what you could test yourself. There's the SEO testing tool also on Right, which is also pretty cool.
I love it.
Get some ideas on what you could get tested, and do your own tests and your own improvements.
Exactly. So this one was all about improving your SEO with API data. So this client of theirs is I guess it was a travel website, or a airline price aggregator. Oh, no. It was in the travel industry, but they wanted to use an API to pull in pricing information from an airline price aggregator and display the content on their site, but client side. So it wasn't completely clear if Google would actually be able to understand the actual pricing data within this element that they added. So I think it's quite an interesting case. They also used the technology from Search Pilot to integrate this as well, kind of like as a good workaround. I don't know if they kept this element implemented client side after, but yes, here's the control and the variant. So you can see like just related articles, some information, and then it gets way more relevant with actual deals and information and prices there. So it's really increasing also the transactional intent purposes on this page. There's a lot of good benefits coming out of this update.
And also a potential next step in the journey, right? Because a lot of people will watch that and then they're like, oh, now I'm ready. I want to get booking, right? And they would jump back and now would search, hey, how can I book this? And it's right there. You just click on it. It's a great improvement for user experience here, especially if it's really like the next step in the typical user journey. Makes a lot of sense.
I was looking at it totally from this perspective, Marcus. So they mentioned as well, like they were not sure if Google would be able to pick up the content, seeing as it is injected client side after the initial page load. But I was like, but this is going to uplift all of your user signals. It's going to contribute to better conversions, hopefully, or affiliate revenues, or however they do it. So I would much more consider it from this perspective. But of course, it's an SEO A/B test, so I want to see it from that side initially. And it did have a good positive uplift on traffic. So it increased traffic by 7%, which is pretty good here. Yeah.
Really good, I'd take it. I'd take an uplift of 7% any day.
Any day. And what's also kind of interesting is they were also running the variant pages in the Google Mobile Friendly tool where you can see the rendered view that Google can also detect. And they also could locate this client-side rendered JavaScript information. So it's showing as well how Google is developing as well and what they can properly crawl and understand from the page. So yeah, pretty nice test all round, I thought.
Indeed.
Klasse. That's
no,
klasse.
all said, yeah.
All said, yeah. Yeah, this was an interesting SERP feature test over on Bing.
Yeah. Really fun. I also just looked at that GIF. It's like so funny that they would actually have that page and you can basically drill down to a certain extent.
On this page, Yelp pages.
Yeah.
I would just be worried as a smaller business owner where I don't have such an established entity yet, and then Bing or maybe Google, if they would do something similar, like it isn't showing me in this little table on the left-hand side. That would be a concern for me. Like, yeah, sure, show me Yelp, Yellow Pages, and Facebook, but what about the toaster review people? What about those? Where are the toaster?
By the way, I'm just looking at it. I looked at the example before, but now looking at it, they're looking for attorneys in Hamburg, right? And look at the first result: lawyers in Hamburg, all like small. This is like a very horrible SERP.
It looks
spammy. Yelp seems to make a little bit of sense, but I don't know that Blaum.de. I don't know. I'm not sold. Lawyers in Hamburg. I don't know. I think I'll check that out.
Yeah, I have a pet peeve with not capitalizing proper nouns in English. And in German, you capitalize every noun. It makes it... Yeah.
And also in the beginning, as a lawyer, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, weird. But interesting find there. I'm not a big fan, but I'm also not a big fan of Bing SERPs anyway. I'm very vocal about this. But
not being had Fabrice Canal here as a guest in our show.
I love the webmaster tools. I don't like the SERPs, but I love the webmaster tools. What is next? Bill Slawski.
That was just funny. That was just funny. I mean, so this is even like a current study because like Tim Swallow was like asking, hey, what are you talking about? And they were like basically pushing like a 2-year-old article about a weird correlation of links. The correlation between search traffic and referring domains. That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, if I see something, I'm just going to ignore it because this is like, this is just like catchy title, but this is definitely far from the truth. And he's just calling that out, and I just love that. Reading it from Bill, what he was writing there. What was he saying?
A link from the homepage of the New York Times likely carries 1,000 times the link equity from the front page of a small town newspaper. Not all links are equal, and that is the biggest flaw in your backlinks correlation study. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this because like really calling that kind of stuff out, because this is something that people will see, and especially beginners, right? And they will see, oh my God, there is a direct correlation between search traffic and more domains, links from more domains. I need to do link building, you know, and the more the better, right? This is a totally wrong advice on so many levels. And it's good. And this is it. You have a responsibility as a tool that a lot of people use, right? You have the responsibility to educate them the correct way. And this is clickbaity, but really doesn't help, especially beginners, because they get a totally different idea of how SEO actually works.
I already saw so many people tweeting this week like, backlinks matter, don't deny it. And I was like, don't reference this in your argument. There's so many things wrong with referencing that and making such a bold statement.
Absolutely. Just the quantity, but whatever.
No.
Okay. By the way, Stefan, this is also a good question. A lawyer for what? That's the question, right? I mean, absolutely. I didn't get it. I was just leaving that. It's just like hideous. But you're totally right. A lawyer for what? Because you have most lawyers specialize in something. This is like I want a random lawyer. This sounds like somebody wants to date someone, I want to have a lawyer or something like this. But no, not really
A
looking
lawyer for poor grammar
legal advice.
choices. Yeah. Funny. What next? Oh, I didn't read this yet, but I want to dig into
Great
it. Tell
article.
me about it.
Great article. This is really something again where he's like going like a little bit further and like really seeing, hey, this is something which, you know, like could like show how search is actually evolving, and not like in the long run, but like more like in the medium run. Doing like very interesting observations and basically combining the pieces of mom, discover, to like having basically it's very hard to like it's a long article, but you have some images who might explain a little bit better. That's like if you search for something, right, it will give you more recommendations about something right out of the SERPs, right, that kind of stuff. So and this is really, really cool. It's very hard really to like put it into 3 sentences what he's saying there. I can just only say like you should really read it.
I will.
Super interesting perspective, super interesting idea on what Google might be up to, and basically offering you more recommendations within the SERPs, sort of like unrelated to the initial search. I mean, like obviously related, but also basically more mapping out the journey you have, and Google being aware of that you are within a journey on a certain point in the journey, and basically like taking you by the hand and leading you through that journey, with mom actually making them able to actually do this much more effectively. It's a great article. It's a very
I want to dig in.
Yeah, also and it doesn't take very long to read, and it's a very interesting perspective, yeah, from Glenn. As always, it's always great.
Glenn gave fantastic.
Yeah,
I want to dive into this article like Scrooge McDuck, you know, from DuckTales.
Yeah,
he dives into his big pool of gold. That's going to be me diving into this article.
I also do this every morning. You know, I dive
into your pool of gold.
Pool of gold. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I was like, always when I saw this, I was like, always, if you do this and you swim around, I mean, like, we really got to shower after this, because like all these coins, right? So you would basically like who would do this? Who would like want to dive into like all the different coins? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Right.
Well, on Family Guy, they did a good spoof of this where Peter tries to dive into his pool of gold and he just hits it and then like breaks his face, because if he dove into a pool of gold, it would be rock hard.
Yeah,
you wouldn't just be able to fluidly swim through the coins.
Like, how would that work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking of all the germs and everything, and like all these.
I know.
Yeah. They thin, and you're like
the germs.
Like, I don't know.
Oh, this is really nice. I saw this live on Twitter as well. I even commented on it. So apparently Google looked into an eco-friendly search ranking boost. Well, kind of. I mean, John mentioned that, like, how would we do that?
How would they, right? And but nevertheless, I think don't stop
believing.
Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. That would be so great. Also having an icon, maybe like the right carbon neutral badge or something like this within the Google Store. I love that. I mean, like, obviously I love that. But like really have some sort of like an icon. But nevertheless, what are you going to do with it, right? Is this really going to be like the where the best answer is, right? As would you prefer a result which is worse but is more like friendly? I don't know. And so he has a legit question, you know, it would be awesome. We're looking into this, but you know, it's tricky. What would you use as the metric here? Right. And how important is it in regards to different metrics, sort of like in a tiebreaker case, right? Or beyond being just a tiebreaker, like being like the most important thing. And I don't know. Yeah, it's very hard, but obviously I love these discussions. Also like to read that these discussions are going on at Google as well.
I really love how Oh, Stefan, go.
Yeah, I've often thought in the past about how sucky some of the clickbait in Discover is and what Google thinks of it. Thought recommendations are certainly a good way to prevent unnecessary clicks. As far as what was the message from the article, really? As far as that was the message from the article, really? Apparently you also read it. Actually, don't.
I think it's referring to the Glenn Gabe article.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't really talk from experience here with Discover because I don't use Discover. I just don't, right? I mean, like, and I don't need it. I don't have a use case for Discover, in that sense. So yeah, but yeah, I always go to Valentin for Discover. Or
yeah,
Jan, and also Jens Fauldrath. I think these is like the trifecta of Discover experts in Germany. And
so
yeah,
true.
and I can't talk from experience there.
So yeah, regarding the like eco-friendly search results, I think how they do it for like flight searches is quite good. So it's not a defining factor in how they rank it, of course, but you still see information, also same for hotels, about the carbon footprint of this flight or the hotel. So I think they could do something similar within Google search, maybe as like a toggle that you could do. But I think what could be very interesting information, because Google is very involved in these topics themselves, is if we could see this more transparently about our own website, you know, based on Google's own information about their own carbon impact. And, you know, they have a lot of data on this, right? So if they could, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a great point, Izzy. Great point. Also with the toggle, I like that idea. And maybe it's really just creating awareness at some point. Also basically like
exactly.
You know, if you click on this and watch that page, this is going to produce that amount of CO2. And I think just having the awareness, just seeing this and being able to decide, am I going to click here or am I going to click there? I think this awareness is really sort of like the next step in their journey. So they might not use it as a ranking signal, even like as a type of whatever, but just making people aware of that fact could actually help moving that whole topic forward. Yeah, great idea also about the toggle. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, because we see this also in the supermarket now with, you know, products, food, etc. Like, what is the actual carbon impact of this packet of chips that you're eating?
Supermarket do you go to? I should go to that supermarket.
Edeka. It's only for like really trendy products at the moment, like Vegans, which is a really nice brand, you know, with the vegan alternatives. And I would see this as like more and more happening, where like it could even potentially be required to show not just like the calories and the nutritional information, but the carbon impact of this product that you're eating to help you make a decision or just to be more aware. So yeah, why not for websites? It also has a huge footprint.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, sad news.
Yeah, but this is like I mean, like, this is your news, right? I mean, like, I saw this.
I
And like, oh my god, this is the news you got to cover.
Yeah, the founder of GIFs has died, unfortunately. But yeah, rest in peace, Stefan. Was he German?
No, Wilhite.
Wilhite.
In Germany, Stephen, also that's not German.
Stefan.
As a P-H-E-N, that's not very Germanish.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was German because it was a German article. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was actually looking for an English one. I was like, actually, I had the PN article open. I was like looking for an English article. I couldn't find one.
No worries.
Which is basically different gifts. Is a Nachruf, a obituary in gifts.
Obituary, yeah.
And I thought you might enjoy the article.
Oh.
I chose this one. Has those cool gifs. And the next one, I love that. I actually had that. Oh, and this is the funniest one here. Not sure. Slow loading image or a GIF. Oh, I love it. It's really cool.
Oh, I'm such a big fan of GIFs. And this week, you know, or he passed away this week. And since then, you know, we've been sort of praising his achievements and the impact he has had on the internet and on information sharing. And a big thing has come out that we're all pronouncing GIFs incorrectly. That the creator of GIFs said that they should pronounce GIFs. And I make fun of everyone who pronounces a GIF like a GIF. And I'm the one who should be made fun of.
What are you saying? I should make fun of you now, or
no? I don't have to.
Actually, with the
It was
drift
so.
sounds weird. Sounds like a peanut butter for me. I
It
don't know.
is, right,
It's
Jif, or
GIF.
it's a cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
GIF.
I know that I think John Moo says Jif, and it makes me cringe
Yeah,
when
a little
every
bit.
time someone says Jif.
Sounds wrong. Yeah.
It does. But it's funny because in German you say the G as a G, like I can't think of any
Gehalt,
examples.
Geld.
Yeah, in the middle of the
Leben.
word.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you would say like Gerald, and we would say Gerald.
Ah, Gerald and
Google
Gerald.
Bing. I miss Google Bing. Google
Yeah, Google
Bing's not
Bing.
been on.
If you don't
Yeah.
know what it is, this is actually the love child of Monica and Chandler Bing. They call it Google. Yeah, if you're friends guy, Monica and Chandler Bing, they had a kid. It's
I
Google Bing.
forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, Google Bing. Yeah, we got
So, RIP, Stefan, thank you for all the wonderful gifts or GIFs that you
GIFs.
brought.
I'm now only gonna say from now on. I'm just gonna say GIF. GIF. Yeah.
GIF
If I do,
Goldblum.
you're welcome to fun of me.
And finally, oh yeah,
Mm.
statistics from Google Maps of how much spam they blocked last year, which is always quite interesting.
Yeah, just the enormous amount of numbers and like really what you
Yeah.
deal with when you have such a popular product. I mean, like 100 million fraudulent and abusive Google Business Profile edits were blocked.
Oof,
100
yeah.
million, 7 million fake Google Business Profiles were removed, right? Also, just the sheer amount of numbers, 190 million photos were blocked or removed, right? Just think about like all these people reviewing that kind of stuff in a year as a gigantic workforce, just keeping everything in check and clean, right? As a
I know. I
so
know. They do great things. I did when I worked at Sixt, I did a lot of local SEO, and I had to sometimes like contact the support team, and it would sometimes take weeks or months to get a response. Those people are busy, right? But again, it's a free tool, so you can't be expected premium support if you pay nothing for it. So
oh,
props
that's
to
not how the
them.
internet works. If it's free, I expect 24/7 support.
Right.
It
Like
works
they should come to my house and we should sit together and delete all the negative reviews together.
that's how it should work. If it's free,
Yes.
I demand 24/7 personal support.
And last but not least, we have just remember to sign up for this fantastic webinar next week with the very own Marcus Tandler and the fantastic
But
Kevin Indig.
Kevin is the hero there. I'm really just sort of like the moderator, having lots of questions for him. It's all about him. People want to hear about from him what he thinks about e-commerce SEO, a lot of different aspects, and we're trying to cover all of them. So it should be pretty cool.
It's gonna be great. I mean, you two are a perfect team, so I'm excited.
Facebook should ask Google how they do it with removing fake accounts. So Stefan doesn't seem to be the big Facebook fan. And by the way, he's watching from Facebook, so it's pretty
Facebook.
Cool. Yeah. I think I'm now going to create a fake Stefan account on Facebook right now. If you turn off, make a fake account, start commenting with Stefan. No, I'm joking. I'm obviously joking.
Obviously.
Well,
Okay, we are massively over time.
We are, but so much stuff
That was
happened.
fun.
Great interaction in the comments. Obviously, we embrace this. So thanks everyone for again watching and also being so active here. This is a lot of fun for us. Thank you so much. This was really cool. And I guess we're gonna see each other again next week if you like to. I mean, like, you should more than like it. You have to.
I love it.
I think everybody else, if you love to, please be our guest again at 302 of a Kind. And now it's finally time with 20 minutes overtime. I got like an 80-minute show now. It's pretty cool. So it's finally time to temporarily redirect you from work to
the weekend.
Woo, woo.
Cheers, Prost. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
and thanks for commenting.
And hope to see you next week, either at the webinar with Kevin or on Friday for another fabulous episode of 302 of a Kind. Yeah.
Klasse.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Eric.
Bye, Eric. Yeah.